Have you ever felt like this? You wake up, you check your phone. Nothing. No good morning text, no call, no message. Just silence. But yesterday, you gave her your whole heart. You listened to her talk for hours. You told her she was special. You told her she meant the world to you. You were always there. You tried to be the best man you could be. Loyal, kind, honest. You answered every call. You were there when she needed you. You gave and gave and gave. And now, she's cold, distant, quiet, like you suddenly mean less than you did before. And deep inside, something hurts. You start asking yourself, why? What did I do wrong? I was good to her. I was there for her. Isn't that what women want? Let me tell you something that might sound crazy at first, but it's the truth. When you're always available, you become invisible. Let's slow this down. Think about water. If you're stuck in the desert and there's no water for days, you'd give anything for just one sip. Your mouth is dry. Your skin is burning. Water becomes the most valuable thing in the world. But now imagine this. You're standing in the rain. Water is everywhere. You're soaked. There's so much of it. You stop caring about it. You just want to get out of it. That's what happens when you're too available to her. When she sees you, talks to you, texts you, hears from you every single day, you become like the rain. You're not rare. You're not exciting. You're just there all the time. And here's what no one tells you. Desire doesn't grow when something is always around. It grows in the space, in the gaps, in the mystery. When she has to wonder where you are. When she has to think, what's he doing today? When she starts to miss you. That's when desire is born. But here's the sad truth. Most men were never taught this. We're told to always be nice, to always give, to always chase, to always be there. We're told that if we just keep proving ourselves, she'll love us more. But that's not what happens. Instead, she gets used to you. She gets bored. She starts texting less. She starts pulling away. And now you're the one chasing. You're the one trying to win her back. Even though you never did anything wrong, except give her too much of you. Let me say this loud and clear. You don't become rare by being available. You become rare by being intentional. What does that mean? It means your time matters. Your energy matters. Your presence should be something she feels lucky to have, not something she expects like air. It means your life should be full of things that matter to you. Your mission, your body, your mind, your dreams. You don't drop those things just to sit around texting her all day. You don't run when she snaps her fingers. You walk your path. And she can join you if she earns it. That's not being cold. That's not being rude. That's being a man with value. And here's where Stoic wisdom kicks in. A Stoic doesn't chase emotions. He doesn't cling. He doesn't need constant attention. He stands in calm. He stands in purpose. And if someone walks away, he lets them go. Why? Because he knows if I have to beg to be seen, I'm not really valued. Let me ask you something that might sting. When was the last time you focused on you? When was the last time you went the whole day without checking your phone, just working on your goals? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and felt powerful? Not because someone liked you, but because you liked yourself. Women can feel this. They can feel when a man is full of his own fire. And they can feel when a man is lost in hers. One man pulls her in, the other slowly pushes her away, even if he's always doing nice things. Here's the new law of desire. You don't chase, you attract. You don't beg, you build. You don't explain your worth, you live it. And when she senses that power, that calm, that strength, that purpose, she won't just like you. She'll crave you. She'll feel something deep in her stomach when you're not around. She'll start thinking about you when you're not thinking about her. Because finally, she met a man who isn't always available. She met a man who's rare, and rare is unforgettable. So remember this. Stop trying to always be there. Start living like a man who values his presence and gives it only to those who deserve it. That's how you flip the story. That's how you go from being forgotten to becoming the man she never stops thinking about. The dangerous lie that's making you weak in her eyes. You've been lied to. And the worst part? You probably believed it. You were told that if you just love her harder, text her more, show her how much you care, then everything will work out. You were told, if she pulls away, chase her. If she's cold, be warmer. If she's confused, explain more. They told you, women want your heart, just give it all. But guess what? That advice is killing your power. Let's break something wide open. Women don't fall for the guy who's always explaining himself, or the guy who's trying to prove his love with long texts and deep talks every single day. They fall for the guy who walks with quiet fire, the one who doesn't explain his value because he knows it. And that's the lie most men don't see. You think you need to win her over. You think love is earned through effort. You think, if I just do more, she'll finally see me. But the truth is, the more you chase, the less she feels. The more you try to fix it, the less she respects you. The more you give, the more she pulls away. Now let me be clear, it's not because women are cruel. It's not because they're playing games. It's because deep down, women are drawn to certainty, to stillness, to men who move like the world doesn't shake them. And what does chasing look like? It looks like you're unsure. It looks like you're trying to win her. It looks like you don't believe you're enough unless she says so. That energy, it's not attractive. It's actually repelling. And here's where Stoic wisdom comes in. A Stoic doesn't need to convince anyone of his value. He doesn't need to show off. He doesn't panic when people step back. He stays still. He stays strong. He watches, waits, and acts only when it's right. Not because he's afraid to lose someone. And that's what women feel. They don't need your begging. They don't need your convincing. They need to feel your inner gravity. Let me paint you a picture. You walk into a room. You don't say much. You don't try too hard. You sit calmly, doing your own thing. Now guess what happens? She starts watching you. She starts wondering. She starts feeling that there's something about you that's different, real, grounded. That's not arrogance. That's not silence. That's presence. And here's the truth. Your presence is louder than your words. But most men throw it all away. They lose control the moment they feel ignored. They send a second text, then a third, then a paragraph explaining their feelings. And what does she feel? Pressure, neediness, a heavy weight. But when a man holds his peace, when he feels the storm but doesn't run after her, that's when she starts to wonder. Wait, Why isn't he chasing? Doesn't he care? Did I lose him? And suddenly, the power shifts. Now she starts reaching out. She starts thinking. She starts craving what she once took for granted. Here's a rule to tattoo in your mind. Don't chase her emotions. Guard your own. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need to always be the one reaching out. You don't need to prove your heart every day. You just need to own your value. Let her come to you. Let her feel the space. Let her experience the absence, not as a game, but as your natural way of living. Because when your life is full of purpose, vision, calm, you won't have time to be too available. You'll be too busy becoming the man she never forgets. And that's the secret. Not more words, not more trying, just more you. Standing tall, living full, speaking less, and letting your presence do the work. That's how you stop being weak in her eyes. That's how you flip the script. That's how you go from forgettable to unforgettable. The silence that speaks louder than your words. Have you ever felt that awful silence? You text her. You wait. Nothing. 1 hour, then 2. Then a whole day goes by, and something inside you starts to burn. You start asking, did I do something wrong? Is she mad at me? Should I send another message? That voice in your head goes crazy. But let me tell you something that will change your life. The silence isn't your enemy. It's your greatest weapon. Most men fear silence. They rush to fill it. They panic in the quiet. They think, if I don't speak up, I'll lose her. But what if I told you? The man who's not afraid of silence holds all the power. Think about it. Silence is heavy. It makes people think. It creates space where emotions can rise. And that's when desire starts to build. Not through talking, not through chasing, but through mystery. When you go quiet, not out of anger, but out of calm, it says one powerful thing. I am not desperate. You're not sitting by the phone. You're not checking your messages every 5 seconds. You're not spinning in your head trying to figure her out. You're living. You're focused. You're calm. You're in your center. And guess what happens next? She starts feeling the space. She notices the shift. She starts to miss your energy, not because you pushed, but because you withdrew into your power. Now here's the part no one tells you. Most women test your silence. They want to know, will you break? Will you chase? Will you fall apart if she stops responding? That's how they feel your strength. Not in your words, but in your restraint, in your stillness, in your ability to let her wander. Because women don't desire men they fully understand. They desire men who make them curious. And silence. Oh man. Silence makes her curious. Let's flip the script. Instead of texting again, you do nothing. Instead of explaining, you breathe. Instead of chasing her mind, you master your own. You hit the gym. You build your business. You spend time with your boys. You get better without telling her about it. Now that's power. That's the man she starts to dream about at night. Because you're not just quiet, you're grounded. You're not waiting. You're moving forward. And listen, this isn't a game. It's not about being cold or fake. It's about being a man who doesn't need to explain himself. It's about holding your line when everything inside you wants to react. It's about choosing self-control over emotional chaos. And that right there is true masculinity. Here's a hard truth you need to swallow. Every time you break silence just to ease your fear, you lose her respect a little more. But every time you hold the frame, every time you let her sit in the unknown, you build something far more powerful than attention. You build aura. Aura is the feeling she gets when she's around you. That sense that something deep is going on inside you, something she can't touch, can't control, can't fully understand. That mystery makes her heart beat faster. That silence becomes addictive. And suddenly, you're not the man chasing her. You're the man she's thinking about when it's quiet at night. So don't fear the silence. Use it. Hold it. Let her feel the echo of your absence. Because the man who can sit in stillness, without fear, without panic, without chasing, is the man she remembers forever. Why chasing her kills her desire, even if she likes you. Have you ever chased someone who kept walking away? You move faster. You call more. You try harder. And the more you try, the more they disappear. It feels confusing, right? You're being nice. You're showing you care. You're doing all the right things. But nothing works. Why? Why does chasing push her away, even when she used to like you? Let me tell you the truth that most men never learn. Chasing doesn't create love. It creates pressure. It's like being followed down a hallway by someone calling your name over and over. At first it's flattering. Then it's annoying. Then it's scary. Women don't want pressure. They want polarity. And that means you have to stand still in your own power while she comes toward you. When you chase, here's what happens. You start trying to win her. You start trying to earn her time. You start trying to prove your worth. But here's the deep part, bro. When you chase her, you forget your value. And if you forget it, so will she. Real attraction doesn't grow from proving. It grows from presence. When you're in your zone, doing your thing, focused on your mission, working out, building your vision, grinding in silence, you become magnetic. You become the man who doesn't need to chase because he's already full. And that changes everything. Most guys get it backwards. They think if they show her how much they care, she'll stay. So they call too much. They text too fast. They cancel plans to be available for her. They give gifts too early. And guess what? She starts to pull away. She starts to act cold. She starts to feel less. Because she didn't want a servant. She wanted a king. And kings don't chase. They lead. Now, this doesn't mean you ignore her. It doesn't mean you play games. It means you don't run after something that's already yours. It means you trust your worth so deeply that you don't need to convince her of anything. She either feels it or she doesn't. And if she does, she comes closer. She opens up. She leans in. Because the space between you gives her something to miss. Let me break it down like this. A fire needs air to burn. If you smother it with too much wood, it dies. Same with attraction. If you're always around, always giving, always messaging, there's no air, no mystery, no tension. And without tension, there's no desire. The man who understands this doesn't chase. He attracts through stillness, through focus, through purpose. And when she feels that, deeply she doesn't want anyone else, because you're not just another guy trying to win her. You're a man already winning in life, with or without her. So stop running. Stop chasing. Start building a life so powerful, so full, so deep, that she wants to be part of it. Not because you begged, but because your presence moves her soul. The mystery principle. Why she thinks about the man she can't predict. Ever notice how she loses interest the moment you get predictable? 1 week, she's into you. Texts flying. Eyes glowing. Vibes strong. But then, you do everything right. You stay sweet. You stay close. You keep checking in. And suddenly, she's cold. Weird, right? It's not your words. It's not your looks. It's not your effort. It's your predictability. Let's talk about that. Humans crave mystery. It's wired into us. Mystery makes the brain light up. It makes the heart race. It makes the imagination go wild. And attraction lives there, in the unknown. Now listen closely. If she can guess your every move, every word, every message, it's no longer exciting. It becomes a script. She already knows the ending, so what does she do? She stops showing up. She pulls back. She looks for a spark again. But here's the twist. That spark doesn't come from someone better. It comes from someone unpredictable. Someone who can still surprise her. That doesn't mean you have to act like a mystery movie. It means your life has to feel alive. It means you need to be in motion, in growth, in challenge. Because when a man is busy becoming, he can't be fully read. He's too deep, too layered, too focused. And that mystery, it makes her feel something new every time she sees you. Here's what most guys get wrong. They text at the same time. They say good morning every single day. They keep the same tone, the same jokes, the same rhythm. That's not romance. That's a robot. Real desire grows when she doesn't know exactly how you feel, but she feels something. When you show her interest, but don't always explain it. When you show up sometimes, but not always on demand. When you speak from your soul, but don't share every single thought. That's where aura lives. You want her to think about you? Don't give her all the answers. Give her just enough to spark her curiosity. Then, go live your life. That's what makes a man unforgettable. Think of it like this. A book with a powerful first chapter makes you flip to the next. But a book that gives away the ending on page 1? Boring. You want her wondering what's next. What you're doing, what you're building, who you're becoming. That curiosity turns into obsession if you do it right. So stop telling her every little thing. Stop explaining yourself. Stop being safe with your emotions. Let her feel you, but not figure you out. Because when a man becomes predictable, he becomes invisible. But when a man becomes a mystery, he becomes addictive. The power of silence. Why talking less makes her feel more. What if I told you? The less you speak, the more she feels. Sounds crazy, right? But here's the truth that no one tells you. Sometimes your silence says everything. Let me explain. Most guys try to win women with words. They talk and talk. Send paragraph texts. Over-explain their feelings. Try to fix every little thing with a conversation. But here's the twist. Words don't build desire. Presence does. Silence does. Energy does. Have you ever been in a room with someone? They didn't say a thing, but you could feel them, their calm, their strength, that still, unshakable presence. It hits different. It makes you lean in. It makes you wonder, what's going on in his mind? That's power. Women don't want a man who explains himself to death. They want a man who doesn't flinch when things get emotional. A man who listens, who stays calm, who lets his energy speak louder than his words. That's where mystery is born. That's where attraction grows. That's where peace lives. Here's what silence does. It shows you're not afraid of space. It proves you're not desperate to fix or chase. It tells her, I'm not here to please you. I'm here to be me. And that's the kind of man she respects. Stoic wisdom teaches this. Emotions don't need to be shouted. They need to be understood. And once you understand yours, you don't have to dump them out to feel strong. You just hold them, like a mountain holds the storm. Quiet, still, calm. Here's what most men don't realize. Talking too much when you're emotional, that's panic, that's fear, that's noise. But staying grounded, breathing deep, letting the moment pass, that's control. And control is rare. If she says something to trigger you and you don't react, you become unforgettable. If she plays a little game and you don't play back, she feels it in her stomach. That silence hits harder than any clever line. That calm becomes your aura. It's not about being cold. It's about being calm. It's not about ignoring her. It's about valuing your peace. And when your peace becomes more important than proving a point, you've unlocked real power. So next time you feel the need to chase, explain. Talk it all out. Pause. Say less. Breathe more. Let your energy speak. Because a man who can sit in silence, he's louder than all the noise around him. And she'll feel it, even when you say nothing at all. She wants to join your life, not be your life. Here's a question nobody asks. What happens when a man makes a woman his whole world? At first, she might smile. She might like the attention. She might even say, "You're so sweet." But deep down, something feels off. And soon, something dies. Desire, respect, admiration, gone. Why? Because no woman wants to be the center of your life. She wants to orbit around something bigger, your purpose. This is the trap many men fall into. They meet a woman. She's beautiful, fun, exciting, and slowly, without realizing it, they stop chasing their dreams. They stop grinding. They stop building. They stop becoming. And instead they start doing everything for her. Calling every day, texting all night, saying yes to anything just to keep her happy. They make her their sun, their sky, their everything. And guess what? She starts to pull away. Why? Because a woman doesn't want to lead your life. She wants to witness it. She wants to feel pulled into something powerful. Something with a mission, a path, a future. She wants to feel like she discovered you on your way up. Not like you abandoned your path to sit beside her. A Stoic man understands this. He knows his purpose comes first. Not out of coldness, not out of pride, but because he knows, without a mission, there is no man. When your life has meaning, you walk differently. You speak differently. You're not begging for love. You're attracting it. And women feel that. They feel the fire in you. They feel your direction. They want to be close to it, not control it. If you make her your everything, she feels trapped. But if you make your mission your everything, she feels inspired. She'll want to stand beside you, not in front of you. She'll say things like, "You're always working, but I like that you have goals." Or, "I want to help you get where you're going." Or even, "You're different from the other guys." That's when you know she's not here to save you. She's here to follow you, because your life has gravity now. So stop trying to be her whole world. Be your own. Light it up with purpose. Build it brick by brick. Protect your time, honor your path, and when she sees it, she'll either walk with you or disappear from the story. Either way, you win. Why being too easy to reach kills her curiosity? Have you ever noticed how when someone is always there, you stop wanting to find them? It's like the magic just disappears. Why? Because too much availability turns excitement into boredom fast. Imagine this. You text her. She answers right away. You call her. She picks up every time. You make plans and she's always free. Sounds good, right? But here's the secret. It's actually the opposite. When you're too easy to reach, too ready and waiting, something sneaky happens inside her mind. She stops wondering. She stops feeling the pull. She stops chasing. Curiosity is the spark of desire, and desire needs space to grow. If she can find you anytime, anywhere, without effort, her brain thinks, why try harder? But if she has to wonder where you are, what you're doing, who you're with, her mind starts spinning with questions. Her heart starts racing with excitement. Suddenly, you're a mystery. You're the prize. You're the guy she wants to figure out. This isn't about playing games. It's about living your life. When you're busy, focused on your goals, your friends, your own growth, you naturally create moments of absence. And those moments, they build emotional tension. They build interest. They build attraction. Think of it like a fire. If you pour water on it every minute, the fire dies. But if you let it breathe, if you add logs at the right time, it grows hotter and brighter. So stop being the guy who's always on call. Start being the man who's unavailable, not because you want to push her away, but because you have a life worth living, a life that draws her in. And here's the best part. When you're not constantly there, she feels the urge to reach out to you. She feels the need to earn your time and attention. That feeling, that's what makes her want you more, not less. Calm is the new sexy. How emotional mastery wins her heart. Ever met a guy who never loses his cool, no matter what? Like storms could rage around him, but he's calm as a lake. That calmness, it's magnetic. It pulls people in like nothing else. Most guys think being strong means showing anger or pushing hard. But real strength? It's quiet. It's calm. It's steady. Imagine this. A woman says something annoying or tests your patience. Instead of freaking out or chasing after her approval, you just breathe. You stay steady. You own your feelings instead of letting them own you. Why does that matter? Because women feel energy, not words. When you get upset or desperate, it sends a signal. I'm not in control. I'm needy. I'm unsure. But when you stay calm, you're saying, I'm the captain of my ship. I'm unshaken. I'm confident without trying. This calm energy is like an invisible shield, an aura that says, I don't need anyone to complete me, but I'm open to sharing my world. That's powerful. That's attractive. That's the kind of guy who doesn't just catch attention. He holds it. And here's the twist. Controlling your emotions doesn't mean hiding them or bottling them up. It means feeling them fully but choosing how to act. It's like being the boss of your inner world, not a slave to it. So next time she pushes your buttons, don't jump. Stay calm. Show her strength through your silence. Let her wonder why you don't lose your cool. That mystery of emotional mastery? It's a magnet she can't resist. The hidden power of real confidence. Why it's not what you think. What if I told you? Real confidence doesn't come from fancy cars, big muscles, or fancy words. Yeah, shocking, right? Most guys get this all wrong, but here's the secret nobody tells you. Real confidence lives deep inside you. It's not about showing off or proving anything to anyone. It's about knowing who you are and being okay with it, no matter what. Think about a time when you learned something new, maybe a skill or a hobby, and suddenly you felt proud. That feeling? That's real confidence. It comes from competence, from mastering something and giving yourself a nod of approval. Women don't fall for a flashy car or loud talk. They fall for a man who stands tall inside himself. A man who knows what he's about. A man who doesn't need their approval to feel good. When you live for their validation, you shrink. You become less. But when you build confidence from your own growth, your own wins, you glow. You become unstoppable. This kind of confidence is peaceful. It doesn't shout. It quietly fills the room. It's the guy who can laugh at himself, handle rejection without drama, and keep moving forward like a rock. Here's the best part. You can start building this real confidence today. Try learning something new. Set small goals. Give yourself credit for every step forward. Watch how that quiet power changes everything. How people notice you differently, especially the women who are drawn to strength, not noise. Remember, the new law of desire isn't about being everywhere, giving everything, or proving yourself. It's about being the man who lives his life fully, calmly, and confidently. That man, he's irresistible. This is your moment. Choose freedom, choose power, choose peace, and watch desire follow.